The autumn sun cast long shadows across the bustling airport terminal as Marcus Thompson adjusted his tailored navy suit and checked his platinum watch. At 38, he had built TechFlow Solutions from a garage startup into a billion-dollar empire, earning him recognition as one of the youngest CEOs on Fortune's list. His confident stride and warm smile had charmed boardrooms from Silicon Valley to Wall Street. First class, seat 2A, he murmured to himself, scanning his boarding pass while navigating through the crowded gate area. The familiar weight of his leather briefcase, filled with contracts that would create jobs for thousands, felt reassuring in his grip. As he approached the airplane's entrance, Marcus nodded politely to the ground crew. His mother's voice echoed in his mind, "Success speaks louder than words, son." Today, he was flying to Chicago to finalize a major acquisition deal that would revolutionize cloud computing technology. The aircraft's first-class cabin gleamed with polished surfaces and plush seating. Marcus settled into his window seat, completely unaware that his peaceful journey was about to become a battleground for dignity and justice. Flight attendant Sarah Collins approached Marcus's seat with a forced smile that never reached her cold blue eyes. Her blonde hair was pulled back in a tight bun, and her movements carried an air of barely concealed hostility. "Your lunch, sir," she said, placing a sandwich wrapped in clear plastic on his tray table with deliberate force. Marcus unwrapped the sandwich and immediately noticed the green spots dotting the bread. The moldy smell hit him instantly, making his stomach turn. He looked up at Sarah, who stood waiting with her arms crossed, a smirk playing at the corners of her mouth. "Excuse me, this sandwich appears to be spoiled," Marcus said calmly, his voice steady despite the anger building inside him. Sarah's eyebrows rose in mock surprise. "Oh, that's unfortunate. Must be all we have left for your type of passenger." The words hung in the air like poison. The businessman in seat RC shifted uncomfortably, pretending to read his newspaper. A woman across the aisle stopped mid-conversation, her eyes widening. The cabin fell silent except for the hum of the engines. Marcus felt his jaw tighten, but years of corporate negotiations had taught him control. "My type of passenger?" he asked quietly, his voice carrying dangerous undertones. Marcus carefully photographed the moldy sandwich with his phone, capturing every green spot and discolored edge. His fingers moved with practiced precision, documenting the evidence like the seasoned executive he was. He noticed Sarah watching him nervously from the galley, whispering urgently to another crew member. "That was completely unacceptable," came a firm voice from across the aisle. Elena Rodriguez, a distinguished woman in her 50s with graying hair and kind eyes, leaned forward. "I'm a federal judge, and I witnessed everything she said to you." Marcus looked up, surprised by her directness. "Thank you for speaking up, Your Honor." Elena shook her head in disgust. "This isn't the first incident I've observed with her. Last month, she deliberately spilled coffee on a young black soldier returning from deployment. The month before, she ignored an elderly black gentleman's call button for 2 hours. A flight attendant named James quietly approached their row. His face showed genuine concern as he whispered, "She's been reported multiple times, but management keeps brushing it aside. We've all seen her behavior, but she's careful around supervisors." Marcus's phone buzzed with messages, but his focus remained sharp. He was building a case that would demand accountability and real change. Marcus stood up slowly, his full height commanding attention throughout the cabin. He reached into his briefcase and pulled out a business card, holding it between 2 fingers like a weapon. "Sarah Collins, I'm Marcus Thompson, CEO of TechFlow Solutions. We happen to own a significant stake in this airline." Sarah's face went pale as she read the card. Her hands trembled slightly as the reality hit her. I didn't know." "Sir, there must be some misunderstanding." "No misunderstanding," Marcus replied firmly. "You deliberately served me spoiled food and made racist comments. Judge Rodriguez here witnessed everything. James stepped forward, his voice gaining strength. Mr. Thompson, she's done this before. We've filed reports, but they disappear. She targets passengers based on race, knowing complaints rarely reach the right people. 2 other crew members nodded in agreement. She bragged about it in the break room, one whispered. Said certain passengers don't deserve first-class treatment. Sarah's mask finally slipped completely. You people always play the race card. I was just doing my job. The cabin erupted in shocked gasps. Marcus smiled grimly. Thank you for confirming exactly what this is about. The plane touched down with a gentle thud, but Marcus's impact would be felt long after. Within minutes of landing, airport security and airline management boarded the aircraft. Sarah Collins was escorted off in handcuffs, her career destroyed by her own hatred. Marcus's phone buzzed with a text from his legal team, discrimination lawsuit filed. Full investigation launched into airline's complaint system. 3 weeks later, TechFlow Solutions announced a $10 million partnership with the airline, funding mandatory bias training for all employees and creating an independent oversight committee. Sarah's termination became a catalyst for industry-wide reform. Judge Rodriguez called Marcus personally. 5 flight attendants have come forward with similar stories. Your courage opened the floodgates. Marcus smiled, watching news coverage of the airline's sweeping policy changes. His mother's words echoed again, success speaks louder than words. But sometimes, he reflected, justice speaks loudest of all. The skies were becoming safer, more welcoming spaces for everyone. One moldy sandwich had sparked a revolution that would protect countless future passengers from the poison of prejudice.